Hi everyone that's already here. We're almost ready to start the webinar, but we'll just wait for another few minutes for the rest of our subscribers to join. Let's kick it off. So about a year ago, we launched the distribution portal, which is now part of our distributor plan, to help you basically distribute your questionnaires to your clients, and they in their turn can invite people and basically manage certain aspects of the distribution of those questionnaires themselves without having to worry about setting it up and all of the technical stuff. So it's a very slimmed down experience that we offer so that they can basically work on. And obviously in a year, quite a lot has changed. And recently, actually, we've actually got a few very interesting new updates, either just released or coming very, very soon. So I'll be very happy to tell you what's new. So some of them are quite long, some of them are quite short. If there's questions, if there's comments, remarks, anything, feel free to reach out during the chat, and I'll see if I can keep an eye open. If not, we can always circle back at the end for Q&A. So feel free to fire your questions away. So the first one we've built was allowing you as an admin to basically upload or import your contacts in CSV and through an API, but now you can also add a contact owner immediately in the CSV file or in the API call. So you can basically upload these contacts directly for your customers. Now, in some cases, a customer, we call them customer, sometimes it's actually your customer. In some cases, it's actually just someone in the company you work for that takes care of the distribution part. So it depends a little bit on how you look for it. Especially in the second case, it's pretty interesting that only one person has to upload all the employees of the company instead of people having to do it manually later on. So that's been released, and you can use the email address, so the login of the customer as the contact owner, and then that way the contact gets linked automatically when you upload them. A second one is still in development for in terms of we're adding some languages, and the feature is there. It is working, but we are still providing the translations for the customer zone. So we're now working on the Dutch and French languages, and we'll be adding quite a few more in the near future. If there's need for specific languages, feel free to reach out as well. Definitely helps us understand which geographies are actually more important and which languages we need to cover to maximize the power of the tool. The next one is you are now also able to change the owner of a contact list. So that could help in terms of preparing those contact lists from an admin side and then changing it to your customer or changing it to a distributor within your organization. And that way you can, again, take some of the work away from people further down the line, especially when you're doing it for bigger companies. This kind of helps you do it quicker. The next one is a big one, and actually one of the more interesting ones of today, and that's the pre-configured campaigns for your customers. So one of the main things that we've heard quite a few times is that creating a campaign is still taking quite a bit of work. So basically it's the same as an email invitation that you as an admin would send out to invite these respondents. But now we've built this feature and you are able to create as many pre-configured campaigns as you want. And in those pre-configured campaigns, you can basically pre-fill any field that's in the campaign that normally a customer would be filling in. And you are able to log those as well. So you can either choose to just have placeholder text there so that they can have something to start from and then change it if they feel it's necessary, or you can lock it to force them to use whatever value you say. You can, as an admin, still change the locked fields. It's just the customers won't be able to change it. And very fun there as well is that you're also able to kind of lock in when scheduling and the end date of campaigns are supposed to happen, and also all of the reminders as well. So it is a very powerful way to streamline how fast you can get campaigns out. This is currently in QA, so it's being actively tested at the moment and should be released in a matter of days, maybe a week or two at the worst. I already see a question from Martin, and since we're on the subject, can I pre-fill or pre-set up the company field for my customers? The company field is on the contact. So I think indeed, so it's on the contact. In your CSV upload, I think it's in the PID field that you can fill that in. I'm going to double check, and I'll make sure that we get that information back to you where it is. If not, then it's something we would need to add. Meantime, I'm going on to the next screen. No, in a pre-configured campaign, you won't be able to fill in the contacts. So basically, in this pre-configured campaign, you can lock in everything except for who's going to receive the campaign. That's still something that the actual customer would have to do. In the next screen, I can show you quickly that you are able to assign these pre-configured campaigns to your customers, so you can choose which ones they see and which ones they don't see. And that way you can limit the options and have as many different flavors running at the same time for different customers if you'd like that. If they, for example, want a specific text in the email invitation or something like that, that's one way you kind of can still use pre-configured campaigns without having to resort in customizing it every time as a customer. And when you are logging in to the distribution portal as a customer, you would basically see this kind of screen after you click create new campaign, and it's just asking you which pre-configured campaign do you want to start from. Now, there is still the option, which is somewhere else. There is the option to enable or disable if they can start campaigns from scratch as well. So you can turn that on or off as well. If you say, no, they have to use only the pre-configured campaign that I create for them, that's something that's possible just out of the box. It's a toggle on the My Team screen. In the meantime, we've got a question here from Susan as well. Can I automatically, with details of the customer as a sender? No, the sender is the sender you can lock in as one specific field, but if what you could do is, for example, you can make a copy of a pre-configured campaign for that one specific customer and then fill in the sender email that you want them to use, which could be their sender email address. So that's something you could do. The only thing you would have to keep in mind is that that domain needs to be verified as well. So we need to have access to the token on that domain to make sure that we are allowed to use that domain to send emails. But that's the way to do it. You make a copy of the pre-configured campaign for that specific customer, and you fill in whatever email address, like info@coca-cola.com, for example, and that's and then you rename the pre-configured campaign to something like campaign for Coca-Cola, and that's the way to do it. In the meantime, I'm going over to the next one because I think we're going to have some more questions later on. We also added the option for customers to view results per contact. So a big issue that typically happens is that you have to go to results and have to find the responses there. Now, from the contact screen as a customer, there's a new column all the way at the back there. It says results, and when you click it, you can see all the answers for all questionnaires that one contact has ever provided. And that way you have a nice overview, and from there you can also download the report if any was attached to it. Should help with with the overview of handling specific contacts separately. I'm seeing another question here from Martin. What about the date of adding the contact in the contacts overview? That's something that's still coming. Yeah, it's on our list of to-dos. We've already added a few other dates that's coming later on, but I'm coming back to you on that one. Now, responses with timestamp. That's exactly what I mentioned. So now in the results, if you click on the results of a specific questionnaire, we've also just added the column there, the third column, the date and time of what time that response was captured. So you have a better understanding of when they responded, especially when you are sending the same questionnaire recurrently. This helps you identify which response is which. The next one is also quite interesting. This one has been ready for quite a while, but unfortunately, we are using a different email service for this. But we've released a new feature called email statistics, which allows your customers to follow up on their campaigns and how their campaign is basically doing. So in a color bar at the bottom there, you can see which stage they are in. And if you click on the details screen or the details button there, you can actually see the full details of what's happening in your campaign, if the email bounced, if they've opened it or not. That's something that's kind of tricky because some email providers don't want to respond if they opened it or not. If they started questionnaires, if they completed questionnaires, and if you're sending multiple questionnaires in a single campaign, if they completed all of them. So then you get the blue badge at the end there. And that way you can basically follow up and see if people are actually reacting or not, or if they are not looking at it, but especially when they are bounced or failed or something didn't go right when you sending the email, you know that you're not going to get a response unless you take action. And that's the main goal that we wanted to achieve here. So to get this, you need to be on our new email platform. We've sent out quite a few mails to a lot of customers already in March, I think, and in February. Not all of them have taken the necessary actions, but this will be enabled for the ones that did. If not, then you would need to reach out to support to make sure that everything is set up correctly on your account, because it is included in the distributor plan. It's just a technical matter that needs to be tackled before we can enable it on your account as well. Now, those were the ones that we released quite recently, or will be released pretty soon. We've got one really interesting one, an upcoming feature that most of our clients have been waiting for quite a while, and me included, which is dashboarding. And before I go to the slide, I'm just going to give you an interlude. Like, a lot of people want to know more with the data that we have or that you gathered. The big issue is typically that you want to perform analytics on those, or basically view some charts. And we had some charts in the dashboard that we had, but it was relatively rudimentary. You could always do an export to CSV or Excel and then play around in Excel, but that's still very manual. And every time you take a new export, you have to do it again. But what we're adding now is a new feature. It's an add-on to basically give you very strong BI analytics built into the platform. And this is kind of what it could look like. I'm saying kind of as an understatement, because aside from the menu there at the top, which was photoshopped in, this is basically what it is going to look like. So we are adding really powerful BI analytics built in, embedded into the platform, where you can basically get pretty much all of the data in your questionnaires and in your responses, and customize it to a level that until this point has never been done in our platform. So it really allows you to make every chart as big and as colorful or as small and as bland as you want. There's tons of chart options. There's tons of filtering options. It has drill down automatically, or you can disable it if you don't like that. It is a very, very powerful tool. Now, this thing is obviously built by an admin, and we are building it in such a way that you can share it with customers as well. So you can have customers get a dashboard button on the results page next to a questionnaire where they can see the dashboard for that specific questionnaire. Now, we're building it this way, and in the future, we're actually hoping to take it back off the specific questionnaire and make it possible to use multiple questionnaires intertwined into a single dashboard, and basically make a very, very powerful tool that gives you a full experience of all the data you have in your platform in terms of what you want to share with your customer. So you as an admin can use this. You can make dashboards for yourself, but you can make simpler, more specific dashboards that you can share with your customers, and that way hopefully share some extra insights. Now, this is currently being built as we speak, and we are estimating that this should be released somewhere in the summer of this year. We are hoping to go into a beta somewhere around beginning of July. So if people are interested in joining like a beta trial as well, that's definitely something you can reach out to us for. And we are hoping to have it fully up and running and iron out all of the kinks in the cable before the end of the summer, so that everything is up and running before Q3. Well, before Q4, sorry. Now, very important to note, this is an add-on. It is something that you would have to order extra because it is a very powerful feature. But in a lot of cases, this will be a very valuable addition to your platform. All right, now that was basically everything I wanted to say today. I'll go back to the questions in a second, but before that, I just wanted to mention that we've got a few plans at Pointerpro. We always started with the Ask Us as Advice. Now we've got Assign and Attract. And now we're getting Analytics with the dashboards as well. So in case something like this is interesting to you, or if you need help to figure out where you are, reach out to our salespeople or support people, or anyone you know at the company, and we'll gladly help you on your way. So keep in mind that it's mostly questionnaires, the reports. We've built the feature aggregate reports a while ago as well, which is an add-on to Reporter, but it's included in Distributor. And then now this dashboarding will be an add-on that's available for Reporter and Distributor, but as a separate add-on that you can choose, as to not drive up the price unnecessarily if you're not going to use it. And all of these packages come with various kind of incremental steps to help you grow and start at a lower price tier and then grow with you as you gain more success with the usage of the tool. Talk to us if you need any information. Now, Q&A, and we've already got a few, so I'm going to scroll back up and see where we left off. So we had the date for the contacts adding the contact in the contacts overview. That's going to be added soon as well. What about only showing the results link when there is at least one PDF available? That makes sense, but I'm going to have to think about that and make sure that we tackle all the use cases, because there might be some loopholes there. We are also adding, and again, we're adding quite a few extra stuff. One of these things that we're adding is in the results tab. It's basically going to show you the results, the individual results for a questionnaire, but we're adding 2 extra tabs. So we're adding a pending tab for all the people that have been invited to take the questionnaire but haven't responded yet, and also the ones that didn't respond at all. So there's going to be a pending and a no response tab as well. So in that sense, the results tab does make more sense. The download button, I think, is only going to be available if there is a response, but that's something but we can talk about this later on, Martijn. Now we need to click on results and find that there is nothing there yet. So that's indeed, let's look into that. I'm seeing here quite a few. I see here a question from Oscar. I'm waiting for the possibility for customer to filter results based on lists and date time in the distribution portal, and been told it will be launched in May. Is this still in the pipe? The filtering by contact list has been postponed a bit because it turned out to be a little bit tricky. And we pulled the dashboarding forward. However, with the dashboarding, there should be more data filtering possible as well. So that's the trade-off we had to make. I'll make sure that we get more timings specifically to those tickets and get them back to you, Oscar. Where the pricing on distributor? Yeah, so the pricing for distributor is very custom. So there's certain price tiers, and we typically try to help you figure out what the best pricing is to get started, and how to grow, and how your journey using distributor would work. It depends very heavily on how many customers you foresee to be using, how many distributors or like extra accounts you want in your organization. So that depends quite heavily on that, usually based on the amount of users. But I would definitely recommend reaching out to someone from sales, and they can give you all of the details of how that works, because there's too many moving parts for me to just give you a number right here. And I get this question here from Susan as well. When will the pre-configured campaigns be available? So again, we're testing them now. I hope somewhere at the end, maybe next week or the week after, we're doing the final QA testing, and then I'm going to do validation tests to make sure everything's working as planned, and it should be live before the end of May at the very, very, very latest. So coming very, very soon. And this pre-configured campaigns is included in the distributor package. So you don't have to worry about anything. It's just going to pop up. It's in the menu item under distribution, and then you have contacts, email invitations, portal settings, and it's going to also have pre-configured campaigns. So that's where to look for them. How quickly can distributor be launched? Pretty quickly. Once the contract and everything has been signed, it can be pretty quickly. We've typically noticed that the most effort is building the questionnaire and the reports. So most of it is based on that. We typically tell people to foresee at least a few weeks in order to play around and to test it, to make sure everything works, just to be sure. But if you are working on it very quickly, then it can go pretty quickly, and you can have a questionnaire with a report out in a few hours or less. It depends on how complicated you want to make it. We also have professional services, which you can see there on the slide as well, to help you build it, or to basically build it for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And then it's with a specific timeline that we set out. We say the questionnaire is going to be ready then, and the report's going to be ready then. Again, Most of it that I would always recommend is foresee some time for testing, just to have that peace of mind for yourself. But yeah, not only show contact invite used, invitation as well, but also reserved. Actually, a good idea. We don't have that in the pipeline now, but I'm going to note it down there as well. So thanks, Martin. I see a question here for Rian. Yeah, okay, we're definitely, yeah, you were already on our list to reach out, Rian, to see if you wanted to play around with it. But thanks for volunteering. Then again, it's kind of like a trial anyway. Yeah? So normally we will be doing QA before you get the test, so it's not going to be full of bugs. General questions: can we force customers to use 2FA? Yes, we have features regarding forcing two-factor authentication. For example, all our accounts at Pointerpro are automatically enforced to use 2FA, so you can enable that as well for your customers. I'm just going to double check because I think support needs to put on a toggle somewhere else or enforces it for your entire organization, basically, and then it happens automatically without you having to worry. But I'll make sure support reaches out to you with some information on how to set that up. Awesome. Any other questions? Because we're on a roll here, and I expected there to be quite a few. So I'm happy to see that everyone's paying attention. I see there's a question tab as well. No, okay, that's that one we already covered as well. All right. Does the CSV upload in distribution portal allow for multiple custom fields? In the admin portal, it does. For inside of distribution portal, I don't think it does, but I see Liliana already, there we go. Liliana already provided a help guide. Thanks, Liliana. So yes, as an admin, you can add multiple custom fields. I don't think you can do it as a customer because you don't see those anywhere. So you would be uploading them and then they would be disappearing and you wouldn't be able to change them. So I think it's disabled for now. We are looking into expanding the power of contacts in the near future as well, in terms of, yeah, maybe we can make all of these fields configurable, and you can basically create your extra fields yourself and choose which fields are visible to customers, stuff like that. So there's still a lot of brainstorming going on there if we can empower those customer roles and those contact fields. Is there a way to achieve to archive or delete campaigns in the distribution portal? Good question. Actually, we've had this question very recently, and we've recently made a design for an archive button, which would pop up in the campaigns overview, and that way you can make them invisible, and it would become a status archived, so you can still call them if you want. Do note that draft campaigns can still be deleted. So as long as it's in draft, you can delete it. If it's scheduled, you can unschedule and revert to draft and then delete it. So there's those options are available, but the archiving, once it's actually been sent out, we're not going to allow deleting, because the issue is, emails have been sent out. Some results might have been collected, and we need that data to make sure everything stays connected and we don't get any loose floating responses that we don't know where they came from. So the design has been made. I don't have an exact timing yet, but it's going to come very soon. I'll just wait another half a minute for any other questions. I hope this was interesting for all of you. Regardless, you should know by now that you can always reach out to us. So my email address is on the slide, but obviously most of you have been in contact with someone from sales or from support. So reach out. If they don't know, they will reach out to people internally. So your question is going to get an answer regardless. Yeah, Martin, I will have a look at because it's I think it's the organization toggle, and I don't know if it's in the actual help guide, so that makes sense. All right. Well, we've kind of timed it to be roughly around half an hour, so I guess we're there. Thank you everyone for joining. Remember, it's going to be uploaded to YouTube and maybe also in shorter snippets, so you can share it with other people if it makes sense. And again, yeah, I'd love to hear from you if there's anything else coming up. So to everyone, have a great evening or the rest of your day, and see you soon. Bye.